Good evening, everybody. And we no longer have the picture up. Now I've got a basket of veggies. And we're not actually going to keep that net there because when you're out at sea, the net slams back and forth on the hull of the boat, so we're going to take that net down. Last week I mentioned I was going to do a video tutorial of putting the driver and the passenger side window gaskets on the Volkswagen bus. It's just kind of a tutorial of the things that we learned as we went along. This manual, if you're trying to work on the bus, trying to do any of the gaskets, you don't even need to look up on YouTube. Just look at this manual. Okay, maybe you need a little bit of YouTube. Step number 1 when you're doing the rubber on the bus, don't be afraid to cut it. Okay, I say don't be afraid of cutting the rubber, but I mean, like, you know, don't be afraid to cut it, but be afraid of cutting it, because it's hard to cut.
From the rust repair that we did.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the gasket just isn't going to fit. And actually, this one was glued too long. So
or take more time and do the rust repair perfect, but
yeah.
Good luck.
Step number 2. Get a good gasket glue. Oh, I forgot to say, you also want something that's going to dry clear, because you're going to get nasty glue all over your brand new paint job. So definitely a clear glue. Notice the clamp in any areas that seem to want to pull apart. And a little spatula to help push the rubber into place. Putting the gasket on the vent window, we thought you could pull apart this hinge and pull out the pin, but we just figured we could just cut for that hole. Figured out what that little thing is right here. That's to adjust so that it'll close correctly. And I cut around that pin that we were messing with. It closes the hinge for this opening glass. This, I'm pretty sure, is going to need to be cut right there. The other one was like super long too. This one's actually fitting right. Sometimes you'll get aftermarket gaskets. That's why you have to trim and cut some of the gaskets in order for it to fit. So that's what it's supposed to look like, sort of. Also, there's a gasket that goes on the inside of this piece, and this actually goes up against this guy. And this is what the main window slides up in. And we're having trouble closing the door, the first door that we did, so we're cutting the rubber away. And it doesn't look very safe. We also found that the hinge on the door, you can kind of maneuver the door around in order to lift it and move it out or in or down. The order of installation on the door is you put the slider window in first and then the vent window. You can bolt up the vent window, but don't bolt up the slider window yet. Put it all the way down into the cavity of the door so that you have room to install the chrome. This piece of rubber we're going to cut, and also we're going to cut the chrome. And this, we're cutting on a little square, kind of like this square, cutting it out, so that it will lay in better on this piece right here. Because when you set the chrome on it, this pushes it out, and then this door rubs on the chrome and doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Bend.
We tried several times, but we could not get the little tabs to go up into the door. These tabs you push up so that it'll hold the chrome in place, but they just weren't holding, and when you go to roll the window up, it would bind and just bend the chrome. So we pulled those tabs out, and instead we will use Lexol or some sort of glue to glue the chrome up into the door.
Look.
And we're going to shim some 5200 in there.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
And hopefully not 5200 the window.
I'm going to go crazy.
Up at the top of the door, where the chrome is, there's also these felt retainer clips, where Pete is showing right now. And when you go to order your gaskets, they actually don't come with the gaskets. So then you have to, you know, pay shipping to get them again, unless you can find them, you know, easily. But, yeah, just know that to get those, unless you have them on the door, we didn't. Those who are followers of my YouTube blog, here's some general updates of the week and the different things that we've done to improve the coconut. Now the dinghy is gray. What is it? This is one of the windows to the bus. Pete epoxied in some blocks while I worked on the louvered windows for the bus. This is a normal thing you do with a wood boat. It'll leak a little, so when you get home you gotta wipe a few things down. The engine mount for an outboard. And we worked to put a Dodger on the front of the coconut. There it is in its beginning phases. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you again next week.